Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks so much for joining us today here on Living Local Carolina. I've got a really special story today. I am joined in studio by Michelle Apple. Michelle, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to share your story. Let's go get right into it here.
So I'm actually this week, a 5-year breast cancer survivor.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And for many breast cancer patients, that's a huge milestone. So my journey started when my diagnosis actually got missed. I had a lump under my armpit, and I had to, obviously get a mammogram, standard stuff, and unfortunately they came back and said everything's fine, go on with your life, it's just a lymph node. And my mom got sick with bile duct cancer, I ended up taking care of her, and I got shingles. This ended up growing. I still ignored it because I thought, they did the mammogram, the doctor came back and said everything's fine. So when she had passed, I then got finally checked up and found out that I ended up being stage 3, 23 lymph nodes were cancerous, full mastectomy, chemo, radiation. And so, the journey is very long, and many of us are still on medication now. So that was a huge part of me starting the foundation, because I wanted people to understand that when you do have a lump, that we do have to push for ultrasound and maybe advocate for ourselves a little bit more that maybe we don't know. So we do provide a mentor program with the Apple Breast Cancer Foundation, so that when a newly diagnosed patient comes through and they call and they need help or support, we mentor them with another patient that has gone through breast cancer. So again, we don't miss things like, you had a lump, you should have pushed for an ultrasound. Did they do a bone density scan in the beginning, or a nuclear bone scan? Those type of things we educate, because it's overwhelming. When you get that diagnosis and you're told you have cancer, it literally, you go through denial, you go through acceptance, and then you go through, for me, it was, I'm gonna fight this. There's no way I'm gonna let this breast cancer define me. And hopefully I can help other patients along the way.
And a big thing to you is nutrition, obviously with what you do.
Yeah, so
How did that help you?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So I'm a dietitian by trade. And I tell many patients that it's so important as you go through this journey that you find a way to take care of yourself, because you're putting chemo, which is really literally poison in your body to kill the cancer. So I fought it back with things like fruits, vegetables, juicing, using other counteractive parts so that I could go in there and say, my gosh, I feel better by doing more fruits, more vegetables, eating a healthier lifestyle, which I did before, because people would say to me, Michelle, you're a dietitian, you work out, you take care of yourself. How did you get breast cancer? I said, breast cancer does not discriminate, but what I can tell you, and I tell all your viewers, take care of yourself so that when something comes along like breast cancer, that you can fight it and you're strong enough to fight it. So I had no other underlying conditions besides the fact that I had the cancer. So I was able to fight it pretty good.
Let's talk more about the fight. And that brings us to the bag that you're holding right there. You're able to really pay this forward now and help patients that are going through the exact same thing that you did.
Yeah, so I wanted to educate, advocate. Our foundation helps with medical bills and travel expenses. And then the other special thing we do is the comfort bags. And why these are so important, I got a comfort bag as I was going through my treatments. And it contains things like a blanket, a message of hope, and then the message of hope that we did last year was from 7th and 8th graders. They actually drew pictures and they wrote messages, just simple things like, I'm thinking of you. I hope that this brings a smile to your face. So the standard stuff we have is lip balm, sanitizer. We're always looking for makeup bags. And so if any women out there have extra makeup bags, you have them laying around. What, Ipsy bags we were talking about, and Estee Lauder bags. We use them to put the items in, like the lip balm and sanitizer and so forth. So any donations are accepted, but the staple items are the Footies with Grip, the blanket, the lip balm, sanitizer, and that type of stuff. So we donate these to local cancer centers. So this year we went to McLeod Health Cancer Center. We did Grand Strand, Conway Medical Center, and then Coastal Carolina Cancer Centers as well. It's well needed in this area. There's many patients that are getting it. We'd love to do 300 to 400 is our goal. So we need your viewers to reach out and donate items, and then we deliver them right before the holidays to bring a smile to their face. So sometime in December, and then we take the donations all the way up into August.
Perfect.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by R&R Tire Express.
Welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everyone. Today I'm back at R&R Tire Express with my friend Reggie. How have you been?
I've been doing great. I hope that you have.
I'm excited to learn what's new with you guys.
Well, we got a few new things. We still do our easy payment program where customers can make their weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly payments to obtain ownership of their merchandise. We're doing brakes now. We're doing front-end repairs. We're doing alignments. We're doing lift kits. There is a no credit check program, so they can just come into the store. Everyone is pre-approved. All we ask for is your ID and your current vehicle registration to get you going on the program. To get you a new set of tires is just a $20 initial payment. That gets new tires installed and gets you going. If you're looking at, to spruce up your car a little bit with wheels and tires, you can do that for a $50 initial payment, and we'll get you installed on a new set of wheels and tires.
That's really good that you guys make it accessible to people, but who really qualifies for these payment plans?
Well, everyone qualifies for the program. There's no stipulations to it. If you have a vehicle, it needs tires, it needs wheels, you live in the area, you qualify for the program.
Okay, so how does it work if somebody were to walk in here and they say, I need some tires or I need something else?
Well, we have tires in stock. We have wheels in stock. If we don't have it here right now, we do have warehouses close by that we could get the merchandise from. But it's simple. Again, you provide your ID, your registration. We have you fill out an order form. Of course, still no credit checks here. And we get you going on the program.
How does the brake system work?
Well, our brakes start out at $3.99 per axle. Of course, depending on the vehicle, that may be some variations in the price. But, that too is something that could be done the same day within an hour.
So when you hear the name R&R Tire Express, most people might think that you guys only have tires, but you also offer servicing here, which is really convenient.
Of course. With your purchase, you have free rotate and balance, free flat repair for the life of the tires. When you're installed here, most vehicles, we align the vehicle with the four-wheel alignment when the product is installed. We do have certified lift technicians, brake technicians. We are also Carfax certified. We have a 5-star review in Carfax. You also have road hazard replacement. So, South Carolina roads are rough sometimes. You hit a pothole, have a blowout, crack a wheel or something like that. While on the program, the road hazard replacement covers that damaged merchandise. You also have roadside assistance. So if you're ever locked out of your car, battery goes dead, you need to be towed to the nearest repair shop. It covers you on all of that stuff. Our servicing also doesn't just stop in this location. Mm-hmm. We have about 210 R&R locations nationwide. So if you're an R&R customer here in the Myrtle Beach location, you're an R&R customer anywhere. So if you're out traveling with your family and you have an emergency, you'll always be taken care of.
This is music to my ears, honestly, because nobody likes to be on the side of the road, stranded. It's nice to know that you guys are there to help.
Yes, ma'am, 100%. Our goals and plans for 2026 is to be what we've always wanted to be, which is the best wheel and tire concept in America. So when you come in to become an R&R customer, you have the options of, spreading the word about, the services and the merchandise that you purchase from us. Each customer that you send into the store, we pay referrals on. And once you've sent us a certain amount of customers, you get a big chunk of in-store credit that you can use either towards what you're already paying on or something else that you would like to get.
Very cool. Okay, if somebody's watching right now, they want to come find you guys, where can they do that?
We're at the corner of Joe White and Seaboard Street in Myrtle Beach, 1925 Mr. Joe White Avenue, or you can visit us at rnrtires.com.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by R&R Tire Express.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined by Quadre Stuckey. We're talking about beautiful, beautiful artwork with a rich cultural heritage. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm blessed. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me today.
We're going to do a lot of fun stuff, but first I want to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
I want you to kind of walk me through your creative process when it comes to this.
So when it comes to my creative process with the artwork, I like to visualize what I'm going to do first in my mind, and then I like to, draw it and sketch it on the canvas. And then once I sketch it on the canvas, I like to add that paint to bring it to life.
And you have quite a history.
Yes.
Why did you get into art in the first place?
I would say art is like my God-given talent. It wasn't something I had to try hard with. It was something that would naturally come to me that just kind of flows easy. So I wanted to use that and share my gift with the world.
I would say that when you look at your art, I was taking a look at your portfolio, and
Yes.
a lot of it is so striking.
Yes.
You have such a unique look.
Yes.
How would you describe your art, though?
I mean, I would describe my art as kind of like a mixture between like contemporary pop art and then low country Gullah lifestyle series. That's what I say, because that's our history and rich culture in Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm from. So it's about that Gullah lifestyle, maintaining the culture and the heritage. So I'm just telling the story through my artwork.
Why is that important to you?
I feel like it's important because if you don't tell your own story, somebody else will tell your story and control your narrative. So it's better for you to keep your own history and pass it down to the generations to come, like your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and your children, to let them know where they came from and what you did to make it here where you're at today.
And how does it feel whenever people see your art for the first time?
It feels amazing because, with artwork, it speaks to everybody different. You know what I'm saying? People get happy, people get excited, people get, filled with joy. So, I mean, me inside, that's just a good, heartwarming feeling that I feel every time that people see it, experience it, and then they just love it and fall in love with it.
And what would you say is the toughest part of the process for you?
The toughest part of the process was, I'd probably say, selling it, because, these are like my kids, and then somebody wants to buy it, you gotta let it go and then not look back. But, at the same time, I could just paint another one.
And speaking of, if someone is interested in purchasing your art or taking a look,
Yes.
How can they do that?
Well, they could go online to my website, www.quaddesigns.net, or they could go onto my nonprofit site, www.GullaGeeChee.FamilyFoundation.com, purchase the artwork.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Quadre. I appreciate you visiting me today.
Definitely.
Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everyone. I have an author in the studio, John. Thank you so much for being here with me
Thanks
today.
for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's get right into it. You wrote this book called Visited Mom Today, and it's about your own personal experience with your mother, amongst other stories. Tell me all about it.
Sure. So my mother was diagnosed about 16 years ago with Alzheimer's, and for 13 of those years, she was in a memory care unit. And so the last 8 years, she also was nonverbal. And so I would take her to different areas in the nursing home, and I would have her sit with other residents, and I would talk to them. And these are a collection of the stories, of the sweet, poignant, funny stories that some of the residents and I had.
I feel like that's something you don't see very often when we're talking about this terrible disease. Are good fun moments too. So do you have anything that sticks out from the book maybe?
Well, first of all, that is exactly right. I think there's so much out there about the science, and there's so much out there about the symptoms and what to look for, but there's really not a human side to Alzheimer's or dementia, so I think that's sort of where that fits. There was one woman that really sticks out for me. She was a nurse in her real life, and when she became a resident at the nursing home in the memory care unit, she thought she was working as a nurse. So she would greet me every time I came at the elevator and tell me how my mother was doing that day, and then would take me, down the hall to check in, and she was just in her element. And really the key to having these discussions is really you have to step into their world because they can no longer step into ours.
That's such a good point. Well, how long did it take for you to write the book?
It was over a period of the 8 years. And what I did was, these were Facebook posts that I did. And so they really started out as just posts for my friends to read and hear what was happening with my mother, and these kind of funny, sweet stories. And over time, people said, you have so many of these, you should be putting them in a book or a collection. And that's really what made me do the book.
I love when there's stories like that where the stories are so good you have to write a book about it,
Right. Exactly.
Well, I know somebody watching right now is going to want to know where they can find this.
Sure.
Where can they find the book?
You can get the book right now on Amazon, and you can just search for Visited Mom Today, and it should come right up.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
I'm Katie Turner, and welcome to my guest bedroom, or should I say guest bathroom, because that's where we're going to be hanging out today. I had to do a little project this weekend, and I always talk about how I'm doing DIY stuff on the weekends and thrift shopping, and I've been so excited to do this all week, so I figured I might as well take you guys with me. So what we're doing today, before you get scared, I have done this before. I am painting the cabinets in this bathroom. So I did this to my kitchen about a year ago with very similar paint. I'm not doing anything super fancy, and I just want to prove that you can do this yourself at home if you use the right paint. The paint that I'm going to be using is a self-leveling paint that doesn't require stripping or sanding. All you have to do is just clean off the cabinets really, really thoroughly and then paint. There's a little bit of a technique to it, so I'll go over that in a little bit, but I figured it would be fun just for us to hang out and you guys watch me paint some stuff today, so let's get started. Okay, so these are the cabinets that I'm going to be painting today. I bet a lot of you recognize this nice orangey toned wood. As you can see, these did get a little bit scratched up. This happened before I moved in. So I don't feel so bad about painting over this. It would be so much more work to try and restain these. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the hardware off of these, and then we're going to clean them super well and get them all nice and prepped for painting. I have to say, this is like the first time I've ever done something like this on camera, so expect a lot of bloopers because I normally am just kind of chaotic and do this maybe not the most professional way, but I was telling Will that doing this on camera, I think will require me to do a decently good job, and I think that's good for me, you know? All right, now that the hardware is off, you have to give these a very thorough clean. Like I said before, you don't have to sand these or do any other prep work other than cleaning them really well with a multi-purpose cleaner. I'm gonna get all the nooks and crannies. I'm getting the insides. I'm gonna, move the drawers. Now, before you ask, Katie, are you gonna take the doors off? You're taking the doors off, surely. Nope, I'm not taking the doors off. You know why? Because I hate doing that. And you can honestly still do a good job with the doors on. That's how we did it in the kitchen, and I'm so happy that I never took the doors off, because while you do have to kind of work around the hinges and everything, I'm gonna tape those up pretty well. It's so annoying to try and put them back on, and people say that they will take their cabinet doors off and they never get them back on straight. They just never look the same, so I just don't want that to happen to me. Okay, now that we're going to be painting, I'm putting on my painting shoes. Now that the prep work is done, it's time to start painting. So the paint that we're using today is the Heirloom Traditions All-in-One paint. I ordered this online. They had a lot of colors to choose from. Today we are using Almond, which is kind of an off-white that's supposed to have pretty neutral tan undertones, and I thought it would go nicely with this granite and with my floor. And what I love about this kind of paint is it's really pretty much foolproof. Like, I can't mess this up. You basically just brush it in and get it into all the little nooks and crannies of the cabinets. And then you take a roller and you're going to roll and get the brush strokes out. So let's get started. This is the quick and dirty rough coat. Do not be alarmed. It's obviously not going to look like this whenever we're done, but it will look much better after the second and maybe a third coat. We'll see if we need to do that. But now we're just gonna wait for this to dry for a little bit, and I'll come back in a moment.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.